We are back on Morning Line. Dr. Friday, our financial expert, with us on the Plus, as well as streaming live on Facebook. Just to clarify real quick, Dr. Friday, once again, those who have already received stimulus checks, okay, explain who they would be and explain that the checks are going to be coming out very likely, I think, direct deposit next Friday, at least starting next Friday, direct deposit to SSI and Social Security recipients. Can you explain the difference on who's gotten the checks and who hasn't to this point, or the payments?
Right. So I went onto the IRS website, and I'm going to kind of read off what I found here. That's a recap. They're basically saying the first 80 million checks went out, and it was based on income, and it was based on filers. These are actual tax filers of 2018 and or 19 returns. Then on April the 24th, anyone less than $10,000 will be receiving theirs. May 1st, anyone between 10 and 20. May 8th, 20 to 30. May 15th, et cetera, all the way up until if you're in the hundreds or 150,000. This schedule goes all the way up until September 11th of how they're issuing these checks. Now, I know many people in this list, what's not listed is, again, Social Security non-filers or VA or any individual that doesn't file. I'm going to assume, since the first one says the first one goes less than $10,000, that they will be in there. But keep in mind, that is outside of the usual IRS. Social Security Administration and IRS are two different entities in the government. Excuse me, in the government. So yeah. They're having to merge their information to get that information from one to the other. I think that is a separate situation that's going on when they're talking about this. But if anyone wants to kind of see, so if you made $30,000 and you are a regular filer on 18 or 19, they're saying that those people may not get any kind of check until May 15th. So again, it is going to be based on income after the initial 80 million that went out last week.
Okay, and those and those without income, like Social Security and stuff, we think maybe could start getting direct deposit by Friday of next week.
I think so. Again, I think they're working on a completely different schedule. I know that I have clients that get Social Security goes into people's banks on different days. I have some people that says the second Wednesday of every month, the third Wednesday, the third Friday, whatever. I don't know if it's difference between SSI, SSA, and VA, but I'm thinking as those payments go out, they're going to be trying to send those out in similar situations. So hopefully, again, that they'll start be going out. My estimate would be the 1st of May here sometime.
Gotcha. Okay, just wanted to clarify because I'm getting an awful lot of questions on that from folks wondering why they haven't gotten it yet. It's coming. It's coming. Yeah. Let's go next to, I think we've got Joe. Joe, let's see. Do we have a clear signal from you? Go ahead, Joe.
Okay. It's so many different answers to this question, I guess. My wife and I both are on Social Security. Mm-hmm. So when I filed early, around the 1st of March, and I owed them a little money, so I just sent them a check. So now, are they going to pull the information off of the Social Security? Because both of our checks are direct deposited.
Okay. Dr. Friday?
It's a great question what he has, because he's saying he's a filer, but he also receives Social Security benefits. Under that situation, I believe you're going to be considered a tax filer and therefore receive a paper check because your banking information was not on your personal tax return because you owed money. And so when you owe money, you don't put your banking. Even if you do put it because it auto drafts, it's not really in the same system. So my understanding is you're not a Social Security, you receive it, but you're a taxpayer, and therefore you're going to actually be under the tax situation, and you'll be receiving based on a paper check.
Gotcha. All right, let's go next to Mary.
Good
I think
question.
Mary's on line 4. Are you there, Mary?
Hi, good morning.
Go ahead, ma'am.
I have two questions. So the 600 stimulus from unemployment, is that retro pay, and if so, to when?
Okay.
And the second question is, if I'm furloughed from work and say we open back up May the 1st, and I have children, I haven't found childcare, and they call me back in, can they terminate me? And if so, how does that work with unemployment?
Okay. what you can.
Those are great questions, and I'm hoping I'm going to do my best to answer them. As far as the 600, if you are already in the list and they just haven't gotten to your application, it will be back paid, just as any unemployment is whenever you go in. So if you applied for it, I don't know, March 15th, and you haven't received it yet, you still should receive it based on the date of applying, not date of receiving. That's a great question, because many states and many governors are saying the same thing. You can't offer work to people when they have children at home. Where are they putting the children? Because the schools are closed, or the daycare is not available. So they have to get daycare open before they can actually get people back into employment. They can't, as far as I know, under the Leave Act, they cannot completely remove your job under these circumstances. It will just come down to is there actually available daycare for the children, and the people are choosing not to put them in daycare because of fear of the return of the COVID, or is it just, there's going to be some answers that I don't know, because there's got a lot of people having these conversations on TV as well as on the net. What if they do open my daycare? I'm afraid that my child goes back with all these kids. Will that create a problem? Are they going to have to wear a mask? Are they, what kind of protection is going to be put into place? The testing, we don't want a kid coming in there with a fever. Children carry, have had flus and colds all the time. It's a great question. My understanding is they won't be able to completely remove your job from you under the Leave Act at this point. But other than that, will they return you to the exact same job if you don't take the job back? That's a great question. It really depends on how fast we open and how much need there is for the proper daycare, and what kind of rules are we going to put into place to keep our kids and adults safe.
All right, let's get back to another caller on line 5. It's Tara. Tara, are you there? Do you have a question, Tara? Hi, Tara. Tara, are you there? Cannot hear her. All right, so we will go next to, I believe, on line 7, Elise. Elise, can you hear me, Elise? Do you have a question?
Yes, sir, I do. If you draw Social Security and it goes to a direct deposit card, will the stimulus go on the same card?
Okay, does your direct deposit card, is it linked to your bank, or is it a separate kind of like credit type card?
It's a credit type card directly from Social Security.
Okay.
And that's a great question, because Social Security does have a card that they give to individuals that do not have bank accounts, allowing them to be able to get, because there was a big time where people were getting checks from Social Security. People were stealing them out of the mailbox. It was dangerous. So that's a great question. If the money is being submitted through Social Security and Social Security is then submitting it to the beneficiaries, the answer I'm going to wing is going to be probably yes, if it's a card that is submitted through Social Security. Again, there's no answer on the net that's telling us. All the IRS says is you have to have a routing number and an account number to receive it through a direct deposit.
Okay, that's it. Good. So I would imagine it'll go where it is. By the way, will you necessarily get the stimulus check when they go out the same day you get your Social Security payment, or they could come on different days?
Absolutely. I would think they'd want them to come on different days so people could truly see the difference, that they received an extra payment.
Got Brian on here saying, I've called 500 times this week. Why can't I get someone to help me? And I completely sympathize with him. He is not alone.
IRS is closed, people. Due to the COVID, they had to close down all their call centers. I know a lot of people are frustrated. Trust me, I make a living by calling the IRS. It is not an easy situation. I can't even get power of attorney. They've closed down the fax lines. They're doing what's probably best for them, but you don't realize how much you need an agency like this until you don't have it. So all I can tell you at this moment, and all the people that are waiting to hear back on other issues with the IRS, stay tight, hold strong, and it should be hopefully opening within the next couple weeks. But until then, there's really nothing you can do. Keep calling isn't going to get you an agent.
Well, hopefully people keep tuning in as you continue to come on with us, hopefully every other week or every week if you can. So we need experts like you to at least to try. And even from your perspective, some of these things, and you're as knowledgeable as I know of anyone in this type of realm, there's some things you don't have the answers to because you can't get them like anyone else from the Social Security Administration right now.
Right. And I do realize a lot of people living solely off Social Security, this is a huge bomb for them. It's already difficult to keep doing it. And some of them had small part-time jobs that they lost, so that extra income would definitely be needed. The problem is, as a non-filer, it's not normally something that the IRS has in their system. So they're really counting on Social Security. And I'm just not too sure how good that communication is going to be.
This is just going to be conjecture here, but I know a lot of people who have already received their checks, so the ones waiting, that money is spent. They desperately need it. And there is some talk potentially of another check coming down the road. Again, we'll see what happens in Washington, D.C. and if they agree on that. That would come after September, I would suspect, if they agreed to put more money in people's pockets. What do you think, Dr. Friday?
I think at that point they're probably going to work with more tax credits than a direct check, personally.
Okay, yeah, it will be interesting to see how that shakes out. And as far as going on socialsecurity.gov, still give it a try. I mean, you can go on there, but would you say it's almost a futile, effort right now, or is it worth someone right now thinking, I would like to go on there and try to get my bank information in there so I could get a stimulus check direct deposit instead of a mail check, or what do you think?
I think that it doesn't hurt to go on, and it doesn't hurt. I mean, as far as I know, Social Security isn't, I don't deal directly with them. They may still have people answering the phone at Social Security, but they're not going to probably know when the IRS is going to issue those refund checks. So probably calling them isn't going to help you. But I think if you receive it, direct deposit in a bank, you're going to get it. Otherwise, think that you're going to receive a check. And I think those checks will be coming out in the first week or so of May. So hopefully then everybody will have a little disposable income to pay those really necessary rents and utilities and things like that.
Gotcha. Dr. Friday Burke, thank you so much for joining us this morning. You're doing well, and I really appreciate you coming on. You're helping a lot of people, and I hope you can come on more with us.
Well, I appreciate it. Thank you for inviting me.
Okay, we'll be in touch with you. And again, that's Dr. Friday Burke, our financial expert, answering a lot of questions. We could go all day with her, quite frankly, with all the comments coming on right now. I want to remind you, you can also follow me on my Facebook page, as you're following right now on Facebook, at Nick Barris NC5. Nick Barris NC5. And if you want to message me there, I can try to answer some of your questions as well. We'll take a break, and I'll be back with a programming note about tomorrow right after this.